friends, welcome to Pinterest Busters. This was a concept that I created years ago and ended up dropping because it was a lot of work to keep up with. So I stopped doing it because I just didn't have time to commit to it, but now it's back. It's a twist on Mythbusters where we test Pinterest pins and see if they actually work or not. So today we're focusing on cleaning our makeup brushes because I just fell in love with this Balm. This is a brush cleaning balm. It is $15 for this balm and it looks like this, and what you do is you wet your brush, you rub it in there, and then you rub it in your hand, and it works amazingly. It is so amazing, super fab. This is an all natural product, but it's very expensive, so I checked on Pinterest and I found quite a few recipes for brush cleaner, so I thought we would try one today. So the ingredients you will need for this are water, dish soap, and vinegar. We are going to be using just regular store brand, Wegmans brand, white distilled vinegar, and a little bit of palm olive. And I want to see whether it can keep up with my Benjabel. We're going to find out right now. Okay, so I've got my 1 cup of water here. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of vinegar and 1 tablespoon of dish soap. Hey, it's pretty, right? All right, so there should be our brush cleaner solution. Definitely smells like vinegar, I can tell you that. Okay, let's go ahead and move our concoction into the bathroom. Okay, so one of the most disturbing things about this pin is that it shows dunking the brush actually in the soap. I'm not going to do that because I'm scared I'm going to ruin my brush by getting the ferrule and inside the ferrule too wet. This is called the ferrule if you weren't aware. I don't want to get inside that ferrule wet because it can make my brush hairs fall out. So I'm just going to kind of dab this in here. This is a flat kabuki brush by Beauty Junkies. This is my favorite brand of brushes, so I'm really hoping I don't ruin my brush. And then I'm just gonna kind of go like that. Wow, all the makeup is definitely coming off. I tried to find 2 brushes that were very similar. They're by the same brand. They're just different styles. Well, it's definitely coming off. I'm just gonna gently dipping so that it doesn't get all the way into the ferrule. So I did 3 dips, and at the end I'll rinse it off. Let me see if I rinse it with some water at this point. How we're doing here. Of course I can't clean the exact same brush twice, so I just tried to get as close as I could. So that is actually looking quite clean. Let's give it 1 more dunk. I picked a dense brush on purpose because they're notoriously harder to clean. It definitely still has some foundation in there. So we're gonna give it 1 last dunk, and then we'll be done with this brush. And then we'll try the Benjabel on the other brush. All right, that looks super incredibly clean. That looks amazing. I don't know, man. I don't know, this is working way better than I thought it would. That's fantastic. So I'm just gonna set this here because I don't have my brush tree in there. I'm gonna set it here, and let's go with the Benjabel. So with the Benjabel, we go like this with the brush. We swirl, and then we make a cup. With our hand, and swirl. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Still quite dirty. I'm having trouble getting that spot right there. So let's look and compare the 2. And it looks like they are pretty much identical as far as how clean they are. I'm scared to keep them dipped up too long. I don't want to ruin my ferrules, but they look pretty identical. Look at that. That's awesome. So I guess that's a Pinterest Busters win overall. I mean, there is still a little bit of foundation on both brushes, which surprised me because I have really been liking this, and for whatever reason, it's not getting the little tiny bit in the very center of the brush out. So I don't know if there would even be a better cleanser than this that would even get that little stain out. I don't know. There are some questions that are left to be had, whether certain things would make a difference. I question whether the vinegar would end up being harsh on the brushes over time. It is quite diluted, so it may not. Also, I don't really know what kind of foundation I used on either brush, whether it was the same foundation, different foundation, so that could have interfered. They are a different shape brush, which could have interfered. So there are definitely some things that are left up to question as to whether they truly are comparable or not. But as far as I'm concerned, I would say that this is just as good, except for the fact that you do need to make it every time and that it is a liquid versus a solid. But if saving, you know, 15 bucks, I mean, if you think about the cost of this versus this, I mean, it's not even a question. I mean, this is pennies versus $15. So if you're on a budget for at this point, I have to recommend it to you that you try this out. So I want to thank you so much for watching the first episode back of Pinterest Busters. I hope you enjoyed it. Suggestions for things you'd like for me to test down in the comments below. I do want to keep doing these very regularly, so I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Mad love, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!